10 lucrative businesses you can start with less than $100. Without wasting much of your time, let's dive in deep. The first business is laundry business. As much as this might sound common or ordinary, you need to put into consideration that most people who do the 9 to 5 job hardly have the time to cater for some of their basic needs, and these also include laundry. So they wouldn't mind parting some parts of their earning with someone who is ready to help them cater for their laundry needs. And for you as a new business owner, you need to focus on delivering quality service at a reduced price. This will help you steal customers from your competitor. Why? Because of the reduction in price, and you are also in business, so that has helped you start your first business. Your key focus should be on gaining more customers to yourself, and as time goes on, you can bring in people to help you on your business. Getting started, you can start a laundry business even without having a laundry machine. So the next business I'll be talking about is bakery business. Yes, so when you hear of the word baking business, you might think of probably the normal bakery business in terms of big establishments. You can actually start a baking business with less than $100. You see, we have some small bakeries. These are usually common in places like Accra. So we have these bakeries where they're usually small. They produce in less quantity to serve the need of that immediate environment. So their focus is on their environment. They don't really sell beyond their environment. They know the time when the demand is usually high, and this is early in the morning and probably in the evening. So that is when they do their production, and a lot of people prefer, especially I as a person, prefer to buy from this smaller bakeries because their bread is usually very fresh. It's usually fresh, and most of the time you can even get hot bread. Who wouldn't want hot bread with probably like beans or any other kind of food you would like to have your bread with? So you can actually start a bakery business with less than $100. What you need is a minimum oven that can help you serve your community, and we have different kind of oven. You can go for the electric oven that might probably cost you a little bit higher, and you can do the local oven that could probably use like charcoal, and some can even use firewood. This will help you reduce your startup capital, and it will also help you deliver good service to your environment. People consume a lot of bread every day. Bread is a fast food, so it's something people just pick up to. You don't need to cook, you don't need to, you just buy your bread probably with mineral and you're good to go. So this makes bread especially in very high demand. So you having your own bakery will give you a large share of that market, and that is another business you can actually start with less than $100. And the next business is well-being instructor. This is not that common. We have instructor in so many fields, but well-being instructor is not that common. And your job as a well-being instructor is to help your customers, your clients, to help them look good. 90% of the people you know are having one health issue or the other, and I would like to tell you this for free, that most of all this health issue are usually caused by what people consume. People consume things that are not usually healthy enough for them or does not align with their system. So this end up giving them some kind of health issue. So what you need to do getting started is to make all your research on how people can look much more younger than their age, feel healthier, and much more happier. So once you gather all these tips, start implementing them yourself. You will also have a better life. You will live a healthy life. And this does not mean that you need to spend a lot of money on some probably foreign food or imported food. You see, with the local food, it's just about blending this food in a way that it will be highly nutritious for the body to digest and also build the body into performing better. And usually foods like this are more of fruits and vegetable. See, let me tell you this, no matter the health issue one is having. If you can place that person on more of fruits and vegetable, I tell you, this simple recipe will resolve many of the deadly diseases that people experience in the world today. People eat food that does not digest in their system easily, and if this happens, the food is likely to take longer than it is expected, and it will definitely form some particles within the system that build into becoming some diseases. So this little explanation I've done has already given you a clear insight of how your job should go. It's just about giving people helpful information on how they can live better. I tell you, place anybody on fruits and vegetable, any fruits they feel comfortable with, any vegetable they feel comfortable with, let them eat more of that, and I can guarantee you that they will have a better world. So that is the third business you can start under $100 investment capital. And those businesses I have shared so far, except for the bakery, which requires some capital, the other two businesses require little to no capital at all. And the fourth business I'll be talking about is restaurant business. This is more similar to the bakery business, but it's slightly different in the sense that now you need to make food for people. So for you to have a mini restaurant, you need to be a caterer. You need to understand how to cook or have passion for cooking. And one secret about this business is that you don't need to cook all meal. If it's just only noodles you know how to make, then you're in business. If it is only rice, anybody can boil rice and make a decent stew alongside with it, you're in business. The most important thing is to make sure that whatever food item or whatever food you're providing, you're putting in your best and you're delivering a tasty and healthy meal to the people. I used to have a guy like that. What he does is noodles, only noodles, but this guy does his noodles in a special way, adding some special touch to his noodles, like adding some lettuce, adding some cucumber, adding some fish. So you see, he is doing it in a different way. One thing about business is for you to find a way to stand out, no matter how competitive the industry is. Noodles can turn out to be a very, very big business. We all know of Dundu Nation. What do? They sell Dundu. Dundu is a food here in Nigeria made out of yam, fried yam, but they do it in a special way. So people like to patronize them. This does not mean there are no other people who sell Dundu, but because they are taking their own to the next level, making it accessible, making it convenient for the corporate guys to go there and buy, because Dundu is a local food, but they rebrand it and make it easier for exclusive people to have access to Dundu and still get the same vibe that yes, they are having a local meal, but this time around with an international flavor. So whatever food you choose to solve for yourself, the most important thing is for you to put in your best. Just one food item is a good start for you, but make sure you prepare that particular food item very, very well. Prepare it better than every other person who also sells that food, so that anybody who think of having that food can think of you first. Why? Because you're doing it in a special way. And the next business I'll be talking about is farming. This is an advanced version of the food business. Farming is a very lucrative business, and I understand that what you might be thinking presently is that, oh, you don't have the land, or probably your compound is not big enough to farm in a quantity that will be highly sustainable for you. I have a good news for you. You see, farming, you don't necessarily need to have the land. You can bargain. Bargain in the sense that, for instance, I as a person, I live in a new site. I have a farm. So I understand how this concept works. You see, in new sites, people who usually have land, all these guys, all these men that have this land in new sites, they grew up in this community and they grew up into farming. The only thing they know is farming. Presently, many of them are tired of farming. They want to go outside to see the different parts of the life, but it's easier for us who are civilized to come here and invest into farming because we understand the impact of farming in the society. They have a treasure, but because they see this all the time, they are used to it, so they are tired of it. They wanted something new. They have the land, they are not ready to farm with it. So you don't need to buy this land. You just need to talk to them. Probably if you live somewhere that is close to a developing site where there are lands that you can make use of to get started with your farming, go to these locals, talk to them, reach an agreement to them that okay, you can do the farming while they provide the land. So what you're doing is that you're building a business together with the locals. But to be on a safe side, you need to go into a solid agreement. Agreements might not necessarily require you bringing in a lawyer. Any documents that is being signed by both parties, the terms and conditions are clearly listed. This is your part, this is what you will do, this is what they will do, and this is what both parties are getting at the end of the business. So just list that clearly and both parties should sign. Once that is done, you have a legal agreement. That is an agreement. But when dealing with the locals, we might need to go a little step further because at times some very few percentage of them might want to act funny and become greedy. So what you need to do is that while making the agreements, you might need to do a video recording, especially when you are negotiating. Do a video recording that cannot be denied later in the day. I'm talking from experience, and these are the things that has really helped me as an individual here living in a new site, as a business person and as also a farmer as well. So the best way to deal with the locals is to have a solid agreement that they can't deny later in the future. So once you have that, then go ahead into the farm. Whatever crop you choose to produce, farming is very lucrative. That is the source of our living. Everything we consume, from the food we eat, the clothing, and every other thing we use, about 80% to 90% of all these items come from farming, including rubber, just name it. All of these items come from farming, even extend to furnitures and so many other products. They all come from farming. So whatever farm item you choose to focus on, just put in your best, okay? Put in your best. It can turn out to become very, very profitable. And one thing about farming is that you actually have two options. You can sell your crop as a raw material, and you can also produce your crop yourself. For instance, you have a plantation, okay? During your harvest, you can choose to do plantain chips. There are so many things that can be done with plantain. You have a cassava plantation. You can convert that into garri. Here in Nigeria, garri used to be a common man's food, but now only the rich can afford to buy garri. Why? Because of the inflation. So whatever farm product you choose to go into can turn out to become the next big deal for you. You just need to be ready to put in the hard work that is required. What you need is sustenance for you to wait for your first harvest. And there are some crops that usually take lesser time to germinate. Crops like vegetables generally, like pepper, like cucumber, like any kind of vegetable, and some fruits as well, yeah, usually take less time to germinate. Some within like 1 month you have your harvest period. Some could take up to 3 months, you have your harvest period. And I don't think that is a long time for anybody who is passionate about starting his own business and who wouldn't mind going into farming. All right, so the next business I'll be talking about is trade. Yes, one of the common business anybody can start is trading. And trading business, you can sell anything, any item. Look within your neighborhood. Look for items that people use constantly or items that you use constantly. This even include food stuff. Yes, food stuff as well. These are products that are in high demand. Any product you choose to sell for yourself, Just make sure that these are things that people around you need. It could go as far as clothing. Clothing is also a good business, and this is trade. So when it comes to trade, your options are limitless. You can go as far as any length in selling any product. You buy at a price, you take it to your location, add your profit markup. A product that you bought for, let's say, like $20, by the time you want to resell, it won't be that $20 anymore. You could resell for like $22, $25, depending on the profit margin possibility on that particular product. So yes, this is also another business you can start with less than $100. Look for any product you can buy in wholesale and retail within your community. Doing that, you're in business already. And the next business is childcare. Yes, like I mentioned earlier, that a lot of people who do the 9 to 5 jobs hardly have time for some of their essential activities. So they need people to help them do this in exchange for some cash. And one of these is helping them take care of their kids. Of course, they can't take their kids to work. So they need someone or somewhere where their kids can be, relax while they are still at work. When they come back, then they pick their kids, then they're good to go home. If you're someone who have passion for kids, caring for kids, then childcare is a business that you can start from the comfort of your home, and this usually require little capital because the parents, of course, will have to pay you upfront, and also they will make provision for all what their kids will consume. What you might just need to do is to invest in some toys that can make your environment lively for the kids. Just keep a clean environment and probably get some toys that can get the kids engaged while they are with you. And if you also have passion for teaching, then you can also help the kids with their assignments for an additional price, because that is an additional value. Providing the daycare service is a service on its own, is a business. Then helping their kids with their educational activity is also another business on its own. So within the childcare business, you've tried to combine two profitable businesses. This will help the parents reduce their stress completely, being rest assured that one, their kids is in safe hand, good hand, and also knowing that activities like the assignments, taking the kids through the things they taught in school, all of that will have been resolved. So childcare is also a very profitable business you can venture into with less than $100 capital. And the next business is drop shipping business. You can actually do drop shipping from any part of the world. People usually think that it's only available in some parts of the world. You see, the basic concepts behind drop shipping is to get a product across to the end user, and you don't really need to have this product. One of the basic things you need for a successful drop shipping business is to look for a vendor that sells this product in wholesale or at a reduced price. Talk to this business owner, make your intention clear, and tell them that you can help them sell their products. Every business owner feel comfortable with people who are ready to help them sell more of their products, in as much as you're not telling them to pay you and you're not telling them to give you the items on credit. Yes, in as much as you're not telling them to give you the item. What you need your investment capital for in a scenario like this is that, for instance, the product you choose to sell is probably like $50, $80 per item. Now you have your capital, you've talked to them, you've bargained with them that okay, your job is to help them tell people who are likely to be in need of their business. So when the demand comes, they will do the supply. Okay, so if the item is being sold for like $50, so you can choose to sell for like $60. That's an additional $10 profit for you. So now your investment capital is to pay the seller its own $50 so they can ship the item. And one of your agreements will include that if the customer, the buyer, didn't accept the product for one reason or the other, the product will be returned back to the store and you still have your capital with them, so that you can use that same capital to ship another product to another customer. So that's exactly how to go about drop shipping. It's about helping people who have businesses sell their business, and you can do this in different industry, especially the real estate industry. It's the same principle. Talk to companies who have lands for sale, you bring your own customers and you get commission. Factor about drop shipping is just for you to look for vendor who sell the best products, good products in wholesale, so that you can also help them resell without you even having to buy the items and stock the items yourself. So you leverage on an existing store, you're helping them sell their products and you have little capital and you're making profits as well. So the next business is online store. As much as this is similar to drop shipping and trade, you can use your online store to sell any product. I know of people who have e-commerce stores and they don't even have a product of their own. They're using the drop shipping principle I mentioned earlier. I have a lot of people who are doing this. They actually have a full-blown e-commerce store on the internet and they don't have a product of their own. So what they do is to receive the order. When they get the order, they forward it to the business who has the product. They already have an agreement with them. So the business will do the shipping and make the sales and keep their profit margin for them, and even at times they accept the payment on their website through online payment gateway and be the one to pay the business owner. So all of these are businesses that require little to no capital, and anybody can start these businesses from the comfort of his home or wherever you live. And the next business I will be talking about is car wash business. Yes, this is also another business that requires little to no capital. So starting a business like this, you need to look within your neighborhood. There are people, right, who have cars and they don't really have that too much time to be going to the car wash all the time, or they don't have the time to be washing their car every morning, yet they want their car to look nice at all time. So you can talk to these people. Some of them usually leave the house very early, so probably in the night you go to them, wash their car, tidy up their car. So this make it easier for them. When they're going out in the morning, they just get in the car and they drive to work in a neat car. And some of them usually come back at late. They probably stay a little while in the morning. So you work based on your customers' schedule. So you have some customers that you go wash their cars in the night, and you have some other customers that you have to go wash their cars in the morning. And how to attract customer in a business like this is to also like charge less than what the normal car wash would charge. This will make it attractive for them. Some might tell you that, okay, come wash my car 3 times in a week. Some might say, come wash my car 2 times in a week. And some, depending on their route, will say, come wash my car every day. Your own goal is to have as much customers as possible. If you have just like maybe 5-6 customers that you're doing this for, you're in business, and this can turn out to become a very profitable business for anybody who is considering starting his own business and has little to no capital. This is a business you can start with as little as $10. Okay, you just need a sponge, you need some car washing soap, and probably water. And in most cases, you are likely to be going to your client's house to do the washing, so they are most likely to provide you with the water. So you don't really need any investment capital, because $10 investment capital is little, okay, compared to what you will be making in this business. And I would also love to round up by including that before getting started in any business, it's important for you to learn about entrepreneurship. And the reason is so that you don't get stuck, okay? Probably this is just to elevate you, to help you raise money. You have a bigger dream, you have something else you're passionate about, but you don't have the capital. This set of business that I've mentioned will help you get started. Some of them you can expand, like the bakery, you can have multiple branches of that. And to help you do this, you need to learn about entrepreneurship. People suffer due to lack of knowledge. They are in a business, they are making some little profit, but they don't know how they can like probably use this little profit to invest in other businesses or to do some other things for themselves. So you really need to acquire as much knowledge as possible, especially about entrepreneurship. There is no business, no matter how little, that can't turn out to become the next big deal with the right knowledge, the right information, and most importantly, with the right mindset. I have an entrepreneurship online program that I strongly recommend for anybody who wants to start a business. This is a program that I personally created myself with the intention of helping new business owners to start a business, grow their business, and also expand their business. So all the modules I talk about in this course are focused on helping you start a business that will become successful, and it will become easier for you to, one, manage people. You're likely to start any of these businesses that I mentioned as a solopreneur, but with the contents of this course, you'll be able to start the right way, and you will be able to bring in people. You'll be able to grow and expand that business very, very fast. Okay, and that is one of the beauty of starting a business, for you to be able to grow in whatever it is you're doing. So yes, my entrepreneurship course will definitely help you build a business that will become successful. And also, I would like to mention that if you're interested in starting any of these businesses that I've talked about in this video, and you need a detailed guide, principles on steps that you can take to help you get started the right way, feel free to tell me about the business, whatever business you're interested in. Mention the business within the comments section below, and I will make a detailed video that can help you start that particular business in a very, very profitable way. All right, so thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you got value from this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and also feel free to share this with someone whom this content will be of help to. And I look forward to having you in my other videos.